Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. How's everyone doing? Loki, glad you could be here. Good evening. Cleric like a cat. Good evening, good evening. Okay. I think what we're going to start off with first is my deepest apology to everyone who watched last night. It did not go according to plan. We did get one thing done, technically. Well, two things. We made it so that if there were ever more than X amount of rooms in a row, it would regenerate the map. Because if there are too many rooms in a row, it was just too boring of a layout. So we did get that completed. And then we also kind of tweaked things a little bit. So instead of that little snake thing that we had generating the map, instead of it taking... Let me pull it up really quick just for anyone who wasn't there or doesn't remember or something like that. So the way that it's randomly generating this map, it's randomly spawning, we're going to call it like a little snake thing. It randomly spawns it in one of these 60 rooms. And before, it would then choose a random direction, move in that direction. And it would then say, hey, you're a room now. And then it would choose a new direction, and it would move in that direction and say, you're a room now. The problem was it was just not creating good level layouts. It was too little of movement. So we experimented a little bit and decided to have it so that it had to move to, well, no, that's not right. Originally we had it move to, but now we have it move randomly between 1 or 2 blocks. So you sometimes get better corridor-looking maps like this. So hopefully they're not as blocky. You kind of get a little bit better of designs, and hopefully they're actually going to be more exciting. That one's still a little bit boring looking, but what are you going to do? That one would be better. That is much better. And that one. Anyway, so we got that method working, right? And then we spent like 3 hours trying to get the room layout working. It did not go well. Not well at all. In the end, I ended up going like an hour over what I thought I was going to be streaming for, and still did not get it figured out. But there was one who came in the chat and offered some suggestions. Devious Oatmeal. Devious Oatmeal started chatting about the different dungeon or just random generation methods, and kind of suggested a few things. We looked at a couple things. He had mentioned the Spelunky method, and took a look at that, and it was kind of what we were already doing for these randomly generated maps, where basically there is like an entity of sorts that is moving through the map, and as it moves through, it spawns the map as that entity moves. That way, you actually get a dungeon layout with all the rooms interconnected. But we were still having the problem with actually getting the rooms to interconnect, because we had also kind of copied and pasted that same method to generate the actual path that you could move through these rooms, right? And it just was not working out. We were trying all sorts of different things last night, but then Oatmeal suggested another thing. And in the end, we decided on, for the RTG Room Connections version 2, we are going to be trying what we're going to dub the Hydra method. So let's see if we can get that thing implemented. Basically, the idea, we're going to keep the same method, right? There will be a snake of sorts that will be moving through the dungeon, but it will only travel, I don't know, let's say like something like 5 or maybe 10 blocks or rooms or whatever we want to call them. It will be moving like 10 squares. And then once it reaches the end of those 10 squares, it despawns, and it will respawn a new snake in a random room that hasn't been given a directional ID. And then it will move 10, and it'll despawn that one, spawn a new one. Basically, the idea is, with this, instead of just having one snake that's potentially just going around in circles and doing all sorts of weird things, it can do whatever it wants for its 10 squares that it moves, and then it despawns, and then we have a new one that comes in and it does its whole thing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in theory, that sounds like it should be good. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Let's find out together. So, let's jump in. So, yes, the idea is, let me see if I can pull this up. So the idea with the new first pass for the Hydra method. So we're going to be using the new snake method for the third pass. I don't know why I said first pass, because it's not first pass, it's the third pass. Anyway, for the new third pass, it's going to spawn a snake that moves X amount of tiles. So we're going to say like 10. It will move those 10 tiles, and then it despawns, spawns a new one into a random tile that hasn't been given a pathing ID, and then it will do its thing, and it'll repeat this until every single room has a pathing ID. So, let's see if we can get that done with that. Come over here. Okay, so we've got pass 1, which is generating the initial dungeon. Pass 2, which is... this is making sure that it is spawning a relatively interesting pattern for the dungeon. Then this is showing the initial dungeon. And then this guy right here, this was pass 3. This was our final attempt at getting it to work, and it was not. Just not at all. It was absolutely terrible. So, let's do this. We're going to delete that. We can keep this because this is just doing the random direction. So this is picking a random number between 1 and 4. Actually, no, we're not going to keep that because... Okay. All right, we need to fix some things. We need to fix some things. Let's fix some things. Because, as of right now, it is... doing things we don't want. Like setting negative IDs. We do not want the negative IDs. So anywhere that it has a negative reference, which actually I need to come back in here, pictures, come down here to the rooms, and get rid of these minus signs here, because we do not want minus on those, because we're not working with negative integers anymore. And room 100, not negative 100. Okay, so let's correct all of this really quickly. And then once all of this is corrected, shouldn't take too long. I remember there wasn't a whole lot here that we had to correct. So that's it for that page. You are no longer negative 100. You are just positive 100. Okay. This guy shows map. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Okay, and then pass 3. Here's where we are. Okay. Let's start implementing the Hydra method. So, what is the first thing we need to do? Well, we need to set variable 1045 to a random number between 1 and 60. Just copy that and paste that. 913, I don't think we need. Do we need... I don't think we need to set these variables. Those should still be fine. Yeah. Just trying to make sure any of this, because this is setting default values. I don't think we're affecting these variables at all. I think the only thing we need to do then, so we just need to say this guy right here. So this is the first check. So it sets the, let's put this in a loop. Let's loop this. We will cut that. Okay, so it sends it to a random number between 1 and 60. And then it will check if the room that the snake was put in, if it's equal to 0. No. So what we need to say is if you are equal to, let's just say if you are not equal to 100. So if you're not, not equal to 0. So if you're not equal to 0, that means you are a room. Nope, we don't even want that. We want you specifically to be you equal 100. And the reason for that is because we don't want to be spawning the snake into an already ID given room. We only want it spawning the snake in rooms with the ID of 100. The reason for that is, let's say for example, we spawn this dungeon. Okay, so that means I did not correctly implement something with changing everything from the negative 100s. But what did I not correct? Oh, this is checking if you are less than 0. We need you to check if you are greater than 0. That's right. I did have a couple checks that were checking for negative integers. Equal to 100. Equal. Greater than, equal to 4. Equal to or greater than. Okay, that's good. Equal to, greater than 0. All that. Okay, that should be correct. Okay, so the reason why we do not want to just say, hey, if you are anything greater than 0, because say the snake gets spawned right here in the top left corner, and it does its thing, it moves a couple blocks, and it turns around, comes back this way, starts going back up, and then it despawns because it's reached its X amount of tile movements. We don't want the new snake spawning anywhere in here that this other one touched, because then we basically just run into the same problem. We want it to go somewhere completely different in the dungeon. So we want to check if it is specifically equal to 100. You're being specific, you can't be either. Specifically equal to 100. Yes. And if you are, then we just say, I think break loop, right? Because that means that we have spawned in correctly the snake. So then we will break this loop, which means then down here we have a new loop. All right. Okay, so comment. What is this guy? You are comment spawning the Hydra. Okay, Hydra is spawn. This loop is moving the Hydra. So, how do we move the snake in this over here? Moving RTG worm. Okay. Should we stick with the theme and rename it from worm to snake? So basically, what we need to do is say, we've got moving RTG snake. If variable 20, 20 is equal to 0, set a random number between 1 and 4. And then 20 to a random number between 1 and 2. Okay, so that is the movement. Okay, that's right. So this if-else statement here, this is telling the snake to move, but not change directions if it hasn't moved enough time, right? So down here, yes, down here is the check. So if the snake has moved 3 tiles or more, then it sets it back, sets that variable back down to 20, or a 20 back down to 0, and then it comes back up here. So if it's equal to 0, then choose a new direction, move the snake. If not, then just move the snake, do not choose a new direction. So we need that. 911, I don't know what that is. We're just going to copy from move RTG snake down to, so that's the direction up, right, down, and left, and that guy. Okay, let's come over here. So moving the Hydra. Let's paste that. Get rid of, okay, so moving the Hydra. So we want the same movement method, so we're just going to say the exact same thing. Dice picked up is equal to 0, then choose a random direction, 1 through 4. And then the movement is going to be between 1 and 2. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to get a little bit more dicey. Because as we're moving through the rooms, we're going to have to check quite a few things. We're going to have to check if the room already has a movement pattern ID. And if it does, then we need to add to it. So let's just focus on up. If you're moving up, if player level progress vertical equals 1, so that means if you are, if you're equal to 1, that means you're moving up. And then if player progress horizontal is less than 55, so long as you are not on, of course I haven't opened Photoshop, so long as you aren't on the top row of rooms, that means you can move. Yes, so that is everything we need there. Then in here, before we move the Hydra, we need it to check. We need to check some things. So let's pull up Photoshop here just so we have it. So we need to check some things before we move the Hydra. So this is actually moving it. Before this, what we need to do. We need to check the room that the player's in and see what ID it already has. Let's grab this, because this... we just have to change the 912, right? Checking 912, 1045, 912, 1045. Okay. So 1045 is the actual position of the Hydra. I want to make sure we have this right before I start building this thing out. 1045 is the position of the Hydra. Then this is incorrect. This needs to set not 912, 1045. Okay, that is correct. Okay, so then come down here. Before we move 1045, before we move that, we need to add a conditional branch. Just say, so if game variable 97 plus variable 1045 times 4. If you're in room 1 and you're trying to move up, before it moves you up, we're going to say if the room is equal to. So we need to check and see. Any time that it is moving up through a room, we need to check and see if it's moving any other direction, if it's moved any other direction through that room. So let's pull up the images. I'm going to move this over to the other side of my screen. So all I'm doing over there is I'm looking up the room directions. So you've got down, left, up, right, and then it starts branching off. So then you've got up, down, left, right, down, left, left, up, right, right, down, all of the different room shape combinations, right? So that's all I've got it over there for, so I can see that. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to check and see. We're checking the snake's position, or the Hydra's position. So if the Hydra's are in room 1, it's saying 1 times 4, so 4 plus 97, which would be room 101, which is room 1. Okay, so if you are equal to 1, we need to check every single room layout that doesn't have an up layout in here. So if you are equal to 1, then what we need to do, we need to, let's grab, I know I have a script call setting variables already. There we go. Here, so if you are equal to 1, then set 97 plus 1045, so it'd be 1 times 4. So 4 plus 97, 101 to equal, so you need to go up, down, so you need to equal 5. Okay. if you are equal to, what else we got? If you're equal to 2, then you need to be able to go up and to the left, which would be ID 8. You are equal to 3, which is up. So we don't need to consider that, because that would mean you have already moved up. Yes, so we don't need to consider that. So if you have an ID of 4, which means you are moving to the right, you need to be able to move to the upright, which would be ID 9. Okay. 5 already has up. 6 does not. So if you are equal to 6, then you need to set you to both left, right, and up, which is map ID 13. 6, if you are equal to 7, which means you can go down and to the left. If you can already go down and to the left, that means you need to be ID 12 at that point, because you've carved out a room to the top. 8, you can already go up. 9, you can already go up. If you are equal to 10, 10 means you can go to the right and down. So that means you need to be able to go up, right, and down, which is 14. Ooh. And then if you are ID 11, you need to be ID 15. Okay. So basically everything in here, well, here to here, this is just checking every ID for the rooms. If there is not a room, if the room you are in has not already had a door, a north door carved out, it checks that. If it hasn't, then put a door to the north. Fantastic. And then it moves the worm. Okay. And then let's do control variables sub 1 from, we're going to say variable 17. So subtract 1. So variable 17 is going to be the variable dictating how many rooms the Hydra can. So let's set this to 10. So it can move through 10 rooms. I think that'll be good. I think 10 will be good. Okay. Subtracts that by 1. Perfect. Now, basically all we need to do is grab that down through, now let's put it there. That through that. Copy that. And paste it in here. Editing this. So this is if we are trying to move to the right. So you are an ID of 1, which means you can move down. You now need to be able to move down and to the right, which is ID 10. You're equal to 2, which means you can move to the left. Then you need to be an ID of 6. If you are equal to 3, which means you can move up, then you need to be able to move up and to the right, which is a variable value of 9-ish. Yes. 3, 4 is you can already move to the right. Okay. I want to make sure I'm taking this into account. Okay. We also are going to need one more thing. Jesse, good evening. Welcome back to the stream. How was your day and how's your evening going? So if you're equal to 6, which means you can go left and right. So we don't need that. So if you're equal to 7, that means you can go down and to the left. So we need to do down, left, and right, which is ID 11. 7, 8, if you are equal to 8, that means you need to be able to go up, left, and right, which is a value of 13. Just says it's been an okay day and an all right evening. How about yours? Same. Yeah. It was it's quite the busy day at work. All sorts of stuff going on, but it was a good day. And yeah, it's been a good evening so far. We are starting progress on the Hydra method. We're gonna see if it works. Fingers crossed it does. I have high hopes. But we'll see. I had high hopes about a lot of the stuff we did last night, and none of that panned out. So, okay, so if you are equal to 10, yes. Yes, because 9 can go to the right already, 10 can go to the right already, 11 can, so you are not 10 anymore, you are 12. You're an ID of 12, which means you can go... I don't think that's right. That's going to be 15 already. Okay, so if you're equal to 1, then you need to be... So that's down. So you need to be down and to the right, which is 10. So that's correct. If you're equal to 2, you need to be equal to 6. If you're equal to 3, you need to be able to go to the up and right, which is 9. If you're equal to... Oh, okay, I did miss one. So if you're equal to 5, which is down and up, you need to be equal to down, up, and right, which is 14. If you're equal to 6, you're already good. If you're equal to 7, then you need to be down, left, and right, which is 11. If you're equal to 8. 8 is left and up, so left, up, and right is 13. 9 can already go right, 10 can already go right, 11 can go right, 12. So if you're equal to 12, then you are now 15. Okay, so the thing that I was saying that we need to also take into account, we need to say, if you're moving up. So the first thing we need to check is if you are equal to 100. If you're equal to 100, then you need to have an ID of... You're going up. No, down. I did down for this one, right? This is direction up. No, that would be right. Crap. No, that should be right. Okay, I may already be messing this up. So in the map IDs, if I bring this over here, you can see 1, if I pull this up and make it bigger, 1 is down. And 3 is up. But then over here, I have set it to be, set it to be that the direction 1 is up. Is that gonna mess things up? I should probably just have this be... crap. I think it should be fine. So if player direction equals 1, it means you're going up. We don't want you to be going up. So let's say if you are equal to 3. We know that 3 is up. That should be all we have to change. If you're equal to 3, you're going up. Okay, so if the room that you spawned into is equal to 100, then set it to 3. So 3 is up. That is the only direction it's gone so far, because before that it was a completely doorless room. You will be equal to 3. Yes, and then we can copy this, and then down here in right, which that is not correct, right should be an ID value of 4. And then in here, you are equal to 100. We're going to say set you to 4. Okay, so then we just copy you down to you. And down here in down. So down would be ID of 1. Okay. so long as you're not on that row. And do this. We're checking within that, right? Yes. Okay. All right, so if you are equal to 100, then you need to set you ID of 1, which means you're going to be moving down. Let's do this process again. Let's save this, because I do not want to lose work if that program crashes like it has done a handful of times before. Let's say... So if you're equal to 1, if you're equal to 100, set it to 1. Moving down. Okay, so I did do it right here. I'm saying if you're equal to 1, then set it to a 5 because you're going up and down. Okay, so I don't know why I had it wrong in the initial setup, but that should be fixed now. Cool, we're good. Okay, so we're not going to check if you're already equal to 1, because if you are, then you're not going to do anything. If you are equal to 2, which means you're going to the left already, so that's left and down. Left and down is 7, so let's set this to an ID of 7. You are equal to 3, means you are going up. You also need to go down, which would be 5. You are equal to an ID of 4. Excuse me. If you're equal to 4, which means you're going to the right, you then need to be able to be an ID of 10, because you are to the right and to down. To down. 4 is good if you're equal to 6. That's already left and right, so left, right, and down would be 11. 7 is already down. 8. 8 is left and up, so you need left, up, and down. Would be 12, so set you to 12. 9 is up and right, so if you're equal to 9, I'm going to say you need to be up, right, and down, which is 14. And if you are equal to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you're equal to 13, which is left, up, and right, then equal 15. All directions. All right. Last but not least, let's come over here to the left. Let's say in here, you're equal to 100. Okay, you are 2, because 2 is left. And we're going to say if you're equal to 100... Oh, excuse me. Set you to 2. Yes, because you're going to the left. And then you are equal to 1, which is down. You need to be down left, which is 7, so set you to 7. It's kind of odd that actually lined up, but okay. Yeah, because if you're equal to 1, which is down, then you need to be down and left. Down and left ID is 7. All right, fair enough. Okay, so 1, 2 is left, 3 is up. Okay, all right. They just happen to be lining up a little bit, but it's just kind of throwing me off. So up is 3. So you need to be able to go left and up, which is 8. Right. You're equal to 4. That is to the right. Left and right would be 6. If you are equal to 5, which is up and down, you need to go up, down, and left, which would be 12. 6 is good, 7 is good, 8 is good, 9. We're equal to 9. You are up, right, and then we need left, which would be 13. 9, 10, 10. TK Gamers, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here. How's your morning going so far? equal to 10, which is down and right. Did we check 9 out? Yes, we checked 9 out right. So down and right, we need down, left, and right, which would be 11. Right, down, left, right. Okay. 10, set for 11, 12, 13, 14. So if you're equal to 14, then set you to 15. Okay. Now, that should be the actual movement itself. Now let's do this. We then need to say, if this is, if it's running into a wall, is there an else statement here? What is that coding language called? The one in RPG Maker? So, I mean, RPG Maker does, like, they do, but they don't have a coding language. So this stuff right here is all JavaScript. Yeah, RPG Maker uses a handful of different languages. So they use JavaScript for a lot of this stuff. And then they have databases. That's right, it's over here. They have databases. So if we come in here to the data, these are all JSON files. So this is just where all of the data is stored. It's like if you come in here to the skills, it'll show you this is all the skill information. So like damage, MP cost, HP if it's the monsters, things like that. So yeah, so it's a combination of JavaScript and JSON. Uses its own sort of scripting, but lets you also insert its JavaScript, is sort of how I interpret it. Yep, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, behind the scenes, it is running full JavaScript, right? So, like, say, for example, this is the RPG core script. So this is a, you know, almost 10,000 line, JavaScript that is just everything about, so like this, sets the master volume of all audio. So yeah, so it is technically all JavaScript, which makes it super easy for the plugins, because then you can just write it all in JavaScript, and you know, it can be super simple things like the mouse coords JavaScript, which is a 12-line plugin of JavaScript. And then you've got crazy ones like, let's see, where is it? The some random dude HUD maker, which is almost 4,000 lines of code. So it just kind of depends on what you're actually trying to do with your script. But yeah, so the engine itself is JavaScript, but then they just make it very visual. And so literally all you have to do is you would be like, hey, show text, and be like, hello. And then that's all it is. And you just come in here and just edit the text. So yeah, JSON is technically JavaScript. JavaScript object notation is the abbreviation. Huh. You learn something new every day. I had absolutely no idea. I thought it was like its own completely separate thing. That is good to know. That is actually really good to know. Nice. Anyway, yeah, so I would, if I were to put a label on it, I would say JavaScript would be the language of RPG Maker, but it's all hidden behind these commands where you can just come in here and be like, you know, hey, play a song or show this picture, right? So like it just gives it an interface, but if you wanted to have more control over it, you can then just come in here and you can write custom JavaScript to, you know, make it do whatever you want it within reason. Well, it depends on how much time and effort you want to put into it. Some people have made some really crazy plugins that are like actually tens of thousands of lines of code, and I'm just like, that is ridiculous, since most of them are just free. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, okay, so this loop here spawns it, random spot. And then so long as, oh yeah, okay, and then variable 17 is the amount of tiles the Hydra can move, okay. Perfect. And then it gets to this loop, which is moving the Hydra. And so then basically what we need to do, dice picked up 0. Okay, so that is the amount of tiles. Let's add some comments so I actually remember this. Comment. Tiles the Hydra moves before rotating. Rotating. Oof. Okay, put that there. So, basically this is saying if you reach 0, then choose a new direction. Yes. If not, don't choose a new direction. Okay. Then, if you're equal to 3, then it's going to check and see. So 3 is up. Let's do this just to make things easier. 1 and 2. We're going to cut those, put them above 3 and 4. That way we're just keeping track of it all. Okay. So if you are moving down, which is ID of 1. Tiki Gamer says, so it's a virtual scripting and JavaScripting. Yeah, so visual scripting and JavaScripting. Yep. And that's kind of like the benefit of RPG Maker is that like it keeps it simple if you want to just stay simple. Like if you just wanted to make a basic RPG where you're like, I want to just have simple conversations and show text, basic choices, number inputs, adjusting actor names and stats and stuff like that, you can keep it super simple. But then they do allow you with the JavaScript to make it a little bit more crazy. Like what I'm doing. All this insanity. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. So this is checking if you are, just to make sure you are not on the bottom row, then it's letting you do this. So it's like my engine. Yeah. And there's a lot of them like that. Some of them are more veiled than others. So like, say for example, even Unreal Engine, you could say it is like a virtual scripting engine. They are just less veiled with their code, right? Like they give you the option to just be like, hey, here's your visual scripting, like do your thing over here. But they're not so much like, hey, just use these buttons. Don't try and do anything else. You kind of have to go digging for it in RPG Maker and other engines. Yeah. GDevelop is also like that, where it's like, hey, here's the buttons, click on these, have them do your thing, call it good. And then there's other engines that have the visual scripting, but it's not so much of like, don't look behind the curtain. There's nothing back here, right? That's what RPG Maker's trying to do. They're like, don't look behind the curtain. Do not do it. We'll take care of it all. But they don't try and stop you from doing it as well. Anyway, so long as you are not on the bottom row, then it does this. But the problem is if you are on the bottom row, we still need you to do this. What we need to do then is just say else over here, set 20 to just be 100. We'll just say that. Okay. And then so long as you are not on any of those, do all of this. But if you are, then set you to 100. So basically this is telling it if you are trying to move to the left, but you're up against the wall. So if we come over to here. So if it's saying, so this right here is basically saying, hey, are you in any of these rooms? If you aren't, then you can move to the left, do your thing, whatever. But if you are, you can't go to the left because there's no left to go to. And so basically what we're then saying is if you are up against there, then set this to 100. And the reason why we're setting it to 100, I will show you in 2 seconds. So let's add the conditional branch here, paste that there. Last one, conditional branch, paste that here. The reason why we're setting it to 100 is because then it gets down here to the bottom. And there's this dice type picked up if you are greater than or equal to 3. This is basically saying if you have moved anywhere from like 2 to 3 tiles, then set this back to 0, which then allows it to loop back up here to the top, choose a new direction, so on and so forth. Good to go. Okay, so here's what we need to do. At this point, we now need to check, so conditional branch, not control variable. If variable 17 is, we'll just say less than or equal to 0. It should just be at 0, but if you're less than or equal to 0. Because every single time the snake or the hydra moves, it reduces this variable by 1. Remember, up here at the top, we set it to 10. It can move 10 spaces. When it gets down here, if it's ever less than or equal to 0, that means the hydra has moved all it can move. It can move no more. And so what it needs to do is then say, I think we should be able to do jump to label, spawn new snake. I believe. Then copy that and come back up here. In this loop, we're going to create a label called spawn new snake. So as soon as it runs out of tiles that it can move, it should, being the key word here, jump all the way back up here, put the commands to start there. Oof, excuse me. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much tonight. But it should put it up there. I don't know, because loops are not necessarily an RPG Maker thing, but the labels kind of are. And so I don't know where the labels priority lies compared to looping. I think that if you tell it to jump to a label, it breaks the loop. Pretty sure. I hope. Okay, so as soon as it runs out of tiles to move, jumps back up here, spawns a new snake. Fantastic. Now we need to do one more check. Before it spawns a new snake, let's do this. Comment. Despawn Hydra. Despawn current Hydra. So, now, what we need to do is before we do that, we need to check and see if every room is currently has an ID, a directional ID. So 100, which is when the first pass goes through, right? Your initial snake goes through, spawning all the rooms. Pass 1 sets all of the rooms to be equal to 100. That is just saying there is a room here. It's not 0. If it's 100, there is a room here. And then this actually shows the rooms based off of that. And then pass 3 is going to be taking those rooms that have the ID of 100 and giving them an idea of between 1 and 15, which is all the different multiple directions that the rooms can be, which is all the multiple directions the player can go. So comment, check if any other rooms have ID equaling 100. Okay, now how are we going to do this? I think what we might be able to do, well, maybe. So in my head, here's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking we can say if game variables 97 plus 1045 times 4 . Nope, that wouldn't work. Basically, all this is saying, everything in these parentheses is equating to the current room that the Hydra is in. If it's in room 1, it is just saying, hey, game variables value 101 is 101 equal to 20. I don't know if RPG Maker allows anything to basically say, hey, our variables between 101 and 501 equal to 100. But let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's come over here. Actually, this one would be easier. Come over here. I'll pull this up really quick. RPG Maker MV. Check if list of variables are, or maybe check if block of variables are equal to a certain, check if variables equal to variable not working. Use a loop with a conditional branch checking each. Okay, well, we could do that. That might actually be the best way to go. We're gonna do another loop. So, are y'all ready for this? Okay, so in here, we're gonna have another loop. Cut that, put that in there. The idea is, very start, we're going to say, nope, we can't do that. We need to use another variable. Let's say conditional branch, let's set variable 16 equal 1. We're in room 1. I feel like this is going to add a lot of time to this generation process, but we will figure out a way to make it more efficient later. For now, set it to 1. And then we're going to say 97 plus 16 times 4 equals 100. If you're equal to 100, that means that you need to loop this again. Yes. If you're equal to 100, break the loop. Get out of that. Start this whole other process again. Okay. If you're not, then we're just going to add 1 to you. So then it would be the room 1, 2, 3, room 4, room 5, yada, yada, yada. And then we're going to say conditional branch in here. If 16 is equal to 61, that means it's gone through all of the rooms. If all of them are good to go, then jump to label. Dungeon layout. Sure. And right here is the label dungeon layout spot. So this loop right here. So the reason why we have this variable set it to 1, this is setting this new variable to equal room 1. We're starting in room 1. And then in this loop, it is checking if room 1 is equal to 100. If it is, which means that the Hydra hasn't made it all the way through to this room, but breaks this loop, goes down to here, and then it will continue back all the way up here at the top. But if it's not, that means it's either 0 or it has an ID. It's either there and it has an ID, or it's not a room. So we add 1 to it to then go check room number 2. And then once it's gone all the way through and we get up to 61, which means it's made it through room 60, then jump to dungeon layout spawned. Dungeon layout spawned then adds 1 to player level plus 1, which takes us here, which should show the new layout. So let's do this. We're going to flash the screen white if we make it here. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Set this to parallel process. As far as I understand it, that should work. Everybody cross your fingers and hope this works. Okay, so it flashed white. But I feel like if I come here... Interesting. Okay, so they all have... All the room layouts do have IDs. What is 60? So 60 is an ID of 1, which is down. It should be down. Okay. So then why are we not actually showing the pictures? It flashed. Right? Like it flashed. So let's see if it's getting here then. So that flash red. Yeah. See if it's getting there. Got a flash of white and a flash of red. Okay, so it is going through this in some way or another, because it's getting to there and then down to there. But it just seems like it's not showing anything. So let's find out why it's not showing anything. Control variables 912, set it to 1. And then we're going to loop this. And then it's going to check if 912 times 4, so 4 plus 97, 101, is room 1, is greater, that's less than. We need greater than 0. I think that was still messed up from that last time. Okay, so if you're greater than 0, which means you have an ID, then show picture 913. Okay, that could be a problem. I believe if this flashes white, let's check what variable 913 is. What is 913? 913 is currently equal to 1. Okay. Okay. Well, we don't need the flashes anymore. We know that we're getting through that. Cool. Cool beat. Okay. Well, let's take another look. Spawns the dungeon. Does this. But those don't seem correct. Those don't seem correct at all. Not at all. Okay, so kind of like how we did with floor 100, making it blue, we are going to do some stuff with these things. You feel me? I hope so. We're gonna do it. Put all of those in there. Instead of just having them be these plain, boring things, let's grab... We're gonna grab green for this one. So let's do this. We're gonna say 4. But all of these maps, we'll just kind of have this little arrow type thing pointing in the direction that this room is. This is just to get a general idea, because with these outer lines, they overlap with the other line. So it's kind of difficult if something's not functioning or spawning quite right. It's kind of difficult to understand exactly which one isn't working. If we have these, we should have a better visual representation of what should and shouldn't be showing. Or what is and isn't showing, I guess I should say. So that we can then figure out what should and shouldn't be shown. Well, that's gonna get interesting looking. That's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, on 15, I'm just gonna make like a diamond. Okay, 9 through 15. Probably for the best my microphone's not picking up my humming for the most part, picking up every now and then. These songs are just so catchy, can't help but hum along. Okay. That should help a little bit with the visualization. Okay. So it looks like potentially the issue is it's not taking into account blank rooms, which is a problem. That is a problem. I know I literally just opened all these up. I don't want to do that again. I should have made them just look worse, but it would be better in the long run. I gotta do it. I apologize, but we need brighter green, and And we're going to still stick with the blue. Pretty sure we do. Yeah, that's just not a bright enough green. We need a green that sticks out. Let's come over here then to 15. So the blue is, okay, we're closing you. So the blue is necessary to differentiate between tile and non-tile, right? And then the green helps us visualize what direction you are supposed to be able to go. So we'll fix all these later. I mean, this isn't even the like official final look of the map indicators. So it's not like we're gonna not have to go through here and fix all these and change them all anyway. Update the visuals. This will just help a ton in diagnosing. But I think the issue is, it seems to be taking into account when you're on the edges, right? So if you are on the bottom row and it's trying to go down, it won't let you. If you're on the left row and you're trying to go left, it won't let you. But it's for some reason, and I may have just completely missed this, but it seems not taking into account if the room next to it that it's trying to move in isn't there, which is kind of important. You can't spawn into a room. What am I doing with my life? You can't spawn into a room that's not there. So we just need to get a better visual representation. Got all of them? Map. You. Okay. Come over here. Let's just check again here. Okay. So. Yes, you can move down and up. You can move. So I'm sure you're noticing some of these where, like, say, for example, this guy right here. Let me do this. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. So this guy right here. You can see he can go down. He can also go to the right. Then this room can only go to the right. The reason why that is because we need a second pass, which is pass number 4. So we need a second pass after you have established the paths that the player can move in. Oh, excuse me. That once you establish the paths that the player can move in, you then need to go through another pass and be like, okay, is this room trying to get into this room? Then just make a door in this room as well, so it's connecting. Yes. Chemistry Nick, hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here. We are making strides on our random tomb generation. I know it's hard to tell because this looks really janky, but the green arrows are just indicators of the direction that we can move. And yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. I believe the Hydra method is actually working, which is crazy because last night was an absolute crapshoot. We were not able to get anything working last night. So the fact that we're getting this far is huge. So what do we need to do then? Come in here. Pass 3. So spawning the Hydra, yada, yada, yada. Okay, moving the Hydra. Right here, it is checking to see if player progress horizontal is greater than 6. So as long as you're not on the bottom row, then it's saying you can move. Let's pull this up. So, saying so long as you are not on this row, then you can move down. That is the only check that I'm doing right now, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Yeah, so we don't want to do that. Let's do this then. Do I actually need the else handler on here? Because the else handler for this one is just equaling 100. I guess, yes, we do need that. Okay. So not only do we need to check and see if, as long as you're not on that row, we also then need to say, okay, so I did have a form of this working last night, but I think I deleted it all. Crap. That's okay. We can remake it. So in here, once it checks to see as long as you're not on the bottom row, then it will do one more check and it will say, Conditional branch. Script. We're going to say, so long as, if it's trying to move down, it needs to say 97 plus 1045 times 4 plus minus 24. Crap. These were the issues we were running into yesterday when we needed to do all of that crazy negative integer stuff. Oh, and I've completely reverted everything back to the positive integers. Okay. Can still do that though, right? We're checking to see if 101 No. The whole reason why I did the negative integers is because there's like there's not really a reason for any other variables to be at a negative integer, right? And so I went with negative because then it wouldn't matter where you were in the map. Game variables 97 plus that times 4 minus 20. You can't necessarily say just check and see if you're equal. So here's what we could do though. We could just set, actually, that's maybe not. So we could just go in and set all of the room layouts to be, you're not equal to 100. No, you are equal to 100. And you can do all this stuff. I'll have one more else handler. Else do that, else do that. Okay. So what we could do is we could say, in the beginning, set all of the room layouts to be a crazy number. Wait. No, I think the conditional branch I just did should work. If you're trying to move down, actually, yeah, I think that should work. 100. Yeah. If room 1 minus 24, I mean, it could put you into a weird. What would be room 1 minus 24? What would that be? Which is room 1 minus 24 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, fog, current room layout, player X, player Y. Okay, yeah, that should never be a problem. Then room, we got spell values, spell types. I mean, those could potentially be equal to 100, but I don't think they ever would. We could go with a crazy number instead of 100. We could do like some weird, crazy number, like, I don't know, 724. That would be a very oddly specific amount, so it's not just 100. I think we're going to stick with this for now. So, basically all you are saying, so once it checks to see if you're not on the bottom row and you're trying to move down, the next, this one, the direction down. Comment, check if not on bottom row. And then check if room to south is a room. Check if there's a room to the south. There we go. I'm trying to remember, Chemistry Nick. I don't remember if I said hello or not to you. If I didn't, I apologize. And if I did, well, hello again. My brain is all over the place. I honestly cannot remember if I said hello or not. Sorry. It is, yeah. Random dungeon generation is just all sorts of throwing my brain out of whack. Okay, so that should be all that's needed. So it's just checking, is there a room to the south? Which hopefully should be enough. So what do we need now? Well, I'm glad you asked. What we need now is to just duplicate that onto the 3 other spots. So, check if not on bottom row. Then down here, this is check if not on left column. Brojo, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here. It's getting a little late. Hopefully not too late. Check if not on left column. Okay. Let's just add this comment here just for all of them. Check if not on top row. Aw. The purple hearts. Check if not on right column. Okay. So then, here's what we need to do. Is we can just grab this conditional branch. Copy that. Check if there's a room to the south. Okay. Then here, we would say conditional branch. Script view. Check to see if this room. This is going to be to the left, correct? Yes. Left would be -4. Yes. -4. If room. Yes. -4. Okay. Sorry. Just trying to make sure. Okay. And then we come up here. We'll just copy this comment because we might as well. Room to the west. Left is to the west. We can cut all of this and put it up in here. Put it all up in here. All right. And then with you, we'll have another conditional branch. Let's copy you, put you in there. All right. So if any one of those isn't correct, have it reset the Hydra's direction. Okay, halfway done. Check if not in left columns. Let's grab you. Say right after that one. As long as you're not on the top row, conditional branch, you are plus 24. Grab this comment. Say, check if there's a room to the north. Grab all of these guys. You. I don't know why sometimes with RPG Maker, when you cut things, it'll just throw it out of whack. I don't know why. I do not know why. Okay. Have an else case. Copy you, paste you. And last but not least, let's grab this. Copy, cancel. We'll come down here. Do conditional branch, script u plus 4. Cut all of that. Mess it up again. And it's just like the view of the event window just gets thrown off for some reason. But if you paste, it's fine. I don't know what it is about cutting, but it's like if you cut an X amount of code, then it's just like, I don't know what you want me to do, so we're just going to be garbage. Okay, then you will have a conditional branch and paste you. Okay, so that should check and see if any of those rooms, if any of the directions they're trying to go do not contain a room, it will not try and go that way and it'll just go a different direction. Let's see how that works out. Well, so far so terrible. Let's, okay, we just need to resize that. Forgot that I had resized it so that you guys could see better. Get that back. Right there. There we go. Okay. Where and why is it getting stuck? So it generates the room. Let's check and see. I mean, I'm assuming it's getting to page 3 on 8, right? Variable 8, page 3. Okay. Changing any of these yet? 3, 2, 100, 100, 100, 3, 1, 100, 100, 4, 4. Okay. Let's have it every time it spawns a new Hydra. It's obviously spawning them. I just don't know where it's freaking out, you know? Check. Despawn current Hydra. Let's flash the screen here. Red. So every time it flashes red, that means there's a new Hydra. Hydra. Okay. So what would I have changed that would have broken that? Moving the Hydra, but only spawned one Hydra. For some weird reason. Moving the Hydra, if 20... Does 20 ever get reset? That should equal to 0. That should equal to 0. I mean 100, 100. Then down here, 20, variable 20 is ever greater than or equal to 3. Set 20 to 0. Okay. Despawn Hydra. Okay, so what would I have done to break this? Okay, this loop, I didn't touch anything in this loop. Nothing was touched in this loop, so that loop should be fine. I don't think there's anything there that would have broken. Okay, so loop. Dice picked up is equal to 0. Tiles the Hydra moved before rotating. You're equal to 0. Then set a new rotation. You're 20, right? Yeah, variable 20. Set a new rotation, and then add random number between 1 and 2. But if you're equal to 1, it means you're moving down. And so long as you're not on the bottom row. Okay. But if you are, as long as you're not on the bottom row, but if you are on the bottom row, set that to 100, which should set a new rotation. $17. Okay. So something, because that didn't even respawn the Hydra once. That respawned twice. So I think it's a direction. I think it's a direction that's messing it up. But what direction? That, my friends, is the real question. So 1046. Okay. Let's check 1046. 1046 is equal to 1. Okay. 1046 is equal to 1. Equal to 2. Is he going to flash again? No. Dang it, I thought I was onto something. I was not onto something. Not onto something. Check if there's a room to the south. Maybe I'm just doing this check wrong. I think I might be doing just this check wrong. I think that's what the problem is. I think what I need to do is put this within its own parentheses, all of that. It checks all of that, sets the variable. That was weird. Here, just for some reason, just all of a sudden, there was this weird ringing pain in the back of my cartilage. Freaking over-ear headphones. Yeah. Okay. Game variables dot value 97 plus 1045 times 4 minus 24. Okay. I think that's what we need to do. We need to come over here, update all of these guys. Put these in their own parentheses, so in their own little thing right here. And then minus 4 should be correct. It's trying to go to the left. It's trying to go to the left. And if it was 101 for room 1. Yeah. All right. You in your own little parenthesis. Plus 24. Last but not least, you. Plus equals 100. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, we got more Hydra spawns from that. But still not 2. Okay. Why? Yeah, what are you showing? You're showing 1045. You're showing 9. Whatever that is. Something is getting caught up down here. I believe 17 is the amount of moves it has, right? Yes, 10. Should pick a new direction. Think of any other rooms have an ID. So that time it spawned 3. I mean, maybe it's a direction thing. Let's see. So 1046 is the direction. $10.46. Okay. That tells us something interesting. It's just shuffling through random directions. Interesting. On room 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So why would it be stuck here? It's basically, so I mean, in general, it's stuck in this loop, but it is constantly saying this. If dice type picked up is equal to 0, okay, tiles the Hydra moves before rotating, and we rotate it. Set this to between 1 and 2. Then it comes down here. Do I just need to get rid of the else handler here? Maybe. Maybe we get rid of the else handler. Nope, still getting stuck in there. Why? Check if there's a room to the south. Check if you're on the bottom row. I feel like maybe we just don't need those. Top row. If you're on the right column. This is checking if 20 is equal to 0. What we should be able to do then is say all the way down here at the bottom, we didn't need those at all. Because this is saying if you are greater than or equal to 3, set it to 0. When it comes back up here, if you're equal to 0, do that. If not, then just do that. Why did I even have those in the first place? That makes no sense. Is that going to fix it, though? Let's see. Nope. We're still getting stuck in this infinite loop of trying to set a random direction. Okay, so what is 20 at right now? Variable 20 is at 2, 3, 3, 2, 0. You're on room 6. So room 6, layout, 100. (22), 6, 12, 18, 24, 23, 22. Why is it getting stuck in this weird direction-changing loop? That's what I want. So if 1046 is equal to, no, that just sets it to a random number between 1 and 4, which is correct. That's what we want it to do. Pick a random direction. That's good. Good job. And then add to it, yada yada yada, bada bing, bada boom. If you're equal to 1, right? So let's just say we're running through for the first time. Picks a random number. You're equal to 1. Cool. So then it checks to see if you're on the bottom row. Make sure you're not on the bottom row. Okay. This one is to check and see if there's a room to the south. And if there is, do all of this stuff. 17 minus 1. Player's position minus 6. So what would room 7? Room 7 layout. Control variables. 101. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, room 7 layout. But this is minus 24. as long as you're not on the bottom row. It's this check here that's just not working quite right, and I'm not 100% sure why. So if game variables dot value 97 plus variable 1045 yeah, that's the snake's position, right? Hydra's position is 1045, correct? Set 1045 to a random number between 1 and 60. Yes. Okay. We need to do 97. Instead of having this at the end, minus 24. What if we say 97 minus 24 plus that? Maybe that is what... Maybe that's the equation we need. 97 minus 4 plus that. Then you would be 97 plus 24 plus that. And 97 plus 4 plus that. Maybe. Maybe. Of course I had to mess up something in there. Open, 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 close, close, close. Okay, so it should end with 2 of them. Open, 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 close, close, close. Okay. Open, 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 close, close, close. Open. Okay. Now let's see if it actually does it. Spawns, spawn, spawn, spawn. Making it further than... No! I jinxed it. I jinxed it. I don't know. I had the gall to say we're making it further than we were before. And then I got stuck in this loop. Why? What is this? What is this loop that it's getting stuck in this? But why? No. It's getting stuck in this. Getting stuck in this. Why? Why? This is relying on variable 20. You're equal to 0. Pick a new direction. 1 through 4. Control variables. Game variables dot value 97 minus 24. That's all correct, right? So 97 minus 24 plus 4. But it shouldn't ever be equal to that. That's kind of the problem we're having, right? So anything here, this doesn't add to 20 at all. But it is subtracting. So maybe we don't have this subtract. Yeah, maybe we don't have that subtract from here. We're going to say, I think maybe that is what was happening. Wait, is anything adding? Yes, it's adding up here. So let's say in both of these spots, it's going to subtract from them. Okay. Will that fix it? Knock on wood. Hasn't broken yet. So each one of those flashes, it's spawning a new thing. Okay. Well, it didn't break in all of that. So let's get rid of that. Okay, what are we at? Variables. You're still 100. You're still 100. 100. 100. Okay, there's still a lot that are 100. And that was running for a bit. You're still 100. Okay, one bug to another. Still 100. 4, 4. Okay. All right. All righty then. So let's do like 25 frames here. And then when it spawns a new Hydra, we're going to wait for a second. We can kind of get like a general idea of where we're at. So 1, 3, 2, 1, 5. I've got a candle burning. Wax just bubbled at me. That was weird. Flash the screen, white. Every time it spawns a new one, flash it white. Okay, so. Why did it rush through this? That shouldn't have rushed through. Flash when it actually chooses a new spawn. Why is this not moving around? Okay, 4, 5. 35, 36, 42, 48, 47, 46. Something's not changing quite right. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not changing directions very often. So what if we try this for here? Additional branch. As long as you're not there, but if you have no room to that direction, then we're going to set this to 2. And if you're a 2, if you have nothing in that direction, set it to 3. If you have nothing in that direction, set it to 4. If you have nothing in that direction, set it to 1. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be manually rotating . Okay. If we get rid of this guy and the weight, it shouldn't be taking this long. It should be like, okay, room number 1 is 100. It should be taking us there now, but it's not. Why? Check if there's a room to the south. Am I doing this portion correctly? To the south. Yeah. Here's a shot in the dark with a JavaScript noob. Do I need to put these guys in their own brackets, parentheses? Maybe. Apparently not. Apparently it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's like room 6. It should be sending one of these worms directly there, like right now. But it's not. There's just a handful of these rooms that just aren't getting anything. Okay, I'm gonna try one more change. So what is 97 minus 24 is 73. instead of doing this, just say 73. This guy. Just making sure I'm getting it right. 93. 93. For you. Got 97 plus 24. 121. And 7 plus 4 is 101. Maybe. Who knows? No. Of course not. Why would it work? Why would that have worked? I don't know why I was thinking it would have worked. Why would it work? Okay. Set 1045 to a random number between 1 and 60. If $97 plus 1024 times 4 is equal to 100. Okay. If we just take all of this out, delete you, put you there. Take all of this out. Delete you, put you there. Cut all of this out. Delete you, put you there. And cut all of this out. Delete you, put you there. That should make it work again, right? Yes. So something in that, all of those checks were breaking it. What it is that was breaking it, I don't know. But something in there was not correct, but everything else is working. So. I mean, logically, it sounds like it should make sense. Right? Like, am I crazy? Literally, all I was doing was saying, hey, if you're in this room, check and see, is this room equal to hold the phone. Was I saying, is it equal to 100? Or was I just saying, are you greater than 0? Oh dear. All right, we're going to do the good old classic. We are going to do the good old classic. Here we go. My channel. We're gonna do the good old classic. We're gonna pull up the live stream itself. We're gonna look at my code, because I think I may have like just literally realized what it may have been. If is equal to 100. Oh my gosh. Oh my absolute bloody freaking. I do remember you saying something equals 100 at some point. Yes, that. Oh, I think that was the problem. Because as the Hydra is going through and assigning values to the room, it's changing to not equal 100 anymore. So I didn't need to say if you equal 100. I needed to say if you are not equal to 0. Oh, freaking good heavens. Yeah, Jesse, you are 100% correct. Oh boy. So that means all of those different things I was trying. Yeah, that is the groan of progress. It is the groan of progress. It hurts. It hurts so much to my core. Absolutely painful. But, I mean, what's going to suck even worse than this is if I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And then I get in there and it's not actually what it was. That is going to suck. But for now, I'm going to assume that is actually what it was. Because in my mind, logically, that all makes sense. When I actually looked at the map and I was able to start thinking about it, I was like, wait. Okay. So, conditional branch. Okay. Here we go. Shouldn't be that bad. Script, conditional branch. So, if, and I'm going to set this up how I think I need to, just to make sure we're doing this correctly. So if 97 minus 24 plus that yada 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 is greater than 0. Because 0 means it's an empty room. Anything more than that. Okay, we will start running into issues then. Because... No, we won't. No, we won't. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Okay, we're fine. Sorry. I started second guessing myself. But we're good. So, that... Oh, 97 minus 24 would be down. Yes. Plus the snake's, the Hydra's location times 4 greater than 0. This is check if there's a room to the south. Okay. We can copy that. And down over here, paste that. Minus 24, this is to the left, so it's minus 4. Check if there's a room to the west. This should be plus 24. Check if there's a room to the north. And then this guy is plus 4. This is check if there's a room to the east. Okay. And then if there is, save that. And if there is these things, come in here, we grab all of this, cut it, paste it here. Come down here, grab you to you, cut you, paste you to you, cut you, paste you. All right, everyone, start crossing your fingers. I actually did that correctly. I actually did it correctly. Hold the phone. Let's dig into everything and see. I'm confident you got this. Okay, well, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. So right now we're checking to see if any of these rooms are leading into an empty space. So let's make this bigger, just so you can follow along with me. Okay, so this room is trying to go down. No other, it's not trying to go out. So none of these green arrows should be facing toward an empty room, which so far, I'm not seeing any facing an empty room. Because yeah, all of the outer rooms, none of them, so anything down here, nothing should be facing down, which it isn't. Any of these, none of these should be facing left, which it isn't. Any of these, none of them should be facing right, which it isn't. And then none of these would be facing up because the top row is completely missing. But you should also have these holes here where it would be showing arrows pointing some direction into them, which it's not there. Not there, not in here, not in here. We're gonna rerun this algorithm again. But I think that's actually working. Holy crap. I think pass 3 is finally actually mother lovin' working. Oh boy, oh boy. We're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna refresh it one more time. I don't see any pointing to any of the empty rooms. I don't see any pointing in at the edge of the floors. That is just pointing toward rooms. Oh my freaking goodness, it's finally working! The Hydra has paid off. Ah. Okay. Well. Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Great. But you. That is a happy day. That is a very happy day. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate your support in all of this. Whew. Man. That was a nightmare to get actually get to set up, but it is working. It's actually working. Yes, Chemistry Nick, thank you. Oof, let's go. It is actually working. Oh, okay. Finally, pass 3 is done. Awesome. Fantastic. Incroyable. Now, we do have pass 4, which hopefully, because pass 4 shouldn't be doing any, it shouldn't be anything crazy. I'm trying to avoid saying it shouldn't be that bad because it very well could be that bad. But here's what we're gonna do. Here is what we're gonna do. We are going to, we're gonna come in here to the Trello board. RTG, room connections, version 2. Okay, start room 1, go left, right up to, okay, yada, yada, yada. New first pass, the Hydra method. Yes, Hydra method is working, okay. Use new snaking method to do third pass. Okay, yes, repeat until all rooms have pathing numbers. That is exactly what it has, absolutely. Okay, so that was the first pass, which is checking if a room is enabled, choose a random direction, try to connect to the neighboring room, repeat through all 60 rooms. Perfect. Now, the second pass, which is not technically the second pass, this is the fourth pass. So we need 4 passes just to get all of this random dungeon generation working. But the last and final pass is checking if neighboring rooms are trying to connect, then just open up the connection. I think that should be all. So as you can see, there was a lot more to this pass versus this one. This is literally just gonna say, it's gonna look at room number 1 and be like, hey, are any of your surrounding rooms, any of your 4 surrounding rooms trying to connect to you that you don't currently have a connection with? If so, then just open up the door. Fantastic. Okay. Let's do that. So, over here. Oh, we've got pass 1, pass 2, showing the layout. Pass 3, and then it shows the layout again. But we don't want to show the layout here yet. So, this is going to be if you're equal to 5. This is going to be if you're equal to 4. Copy this, paste this. This is if you're equal to 4. This is pass 4. The 4th and final pass. Let's go. We got this. We got this. We can use a lot of this same logic here. But we're not snaking through anything, so we can reduce this immensely, which is going to be fantastic. So all we have to do is just say set 1045 to equal 1. Cut that, move you up to there. And then we should just need 1 loop. Yes. Okay, so we just have 1 loop. We can delete this one. We're going to call this one connecting neighbor rooms. Connecting unconnected neighbor room. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. We got this. Okay, we don't need this loop either. We're not moving the Hydra around. That is not a thing here. If you're equal to 4, we don't need, if you're equal to 1, don't need that. Equal to 2, don't need that. 3, don't need that. We're going to keep 4 though. I'm going to show you why in a little bit. Okay, we don't need you. We don't need you. Shouldn't need you. Yep, don't need you. Despawn Hydra. Don't need you. Need you. Don't need you. And it just increases the player level +1. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. For pass 4, all we need to do is we need to check the neighboring room. So this sets us into room number 1. So with room number 1, how are we gonna do this? We still need to take into account, so we don't need to check the connecting unconnected room. We don't need to check which direction we're facing. Not at all. We should just need this. Let's get rid of that. This is checking to see you are on the rightmost column of rooms. We have to take 1 room at a time. But we're not going to want to be checking the rooms outside of those scopes. So outside of the floor, right? So we still need to take into account, if you're in room 1, we still need to take into account room 7, room 2, but there is no room below or to the left of this room. But we can't just say, hey, if you're on the first level, we might actually just have to do that, actually. I was hoping we could use the exact same code for all of this. I don't think we can. That should be fine. That should be fine. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm trying to think of the most efficient way to write this. There's already gonna be quite a bit going on. I keep hitting that. I am so sorry. I'm gonna like bring this over and up so I stop hitting that with my knuckle every time I breeze past there. Let's do this. You're gonna be 9. You're gonna be 4. You're gonna be 5. I just want to see. We're gonna have it randomly generate, right? So let's say, for example, let's take into account, okay, we're looking at this room. So this room is currently saying you can only go left. Okay. But this room is trying to make a connection with this room. So in this case, it would allow you to go left and right. Which is fine. That should be okay. Yeah. So what we don't want to run into, instances of trying to disconnect any connections. I mean, maybe we could. Like, let's say, for example, with this one. Let's go into this section up here. So this one's trying to connect both to the left and the right. Same here, left and right. These ones are connecting to the left. This one's connecting to the right. This one's connecting to the right. That one's only connecting down. But if we were to do the current pass that we're doing, this would then connect here. So you would basically just have like this weird loop thing here, which I guess is fine because it's not trying to connect there. Okay. Same thing over here. So if you were down here, this room is trying to make a connection to this room. So that would open that up. Then this room is trying to make a connection to that room. So that would open that up. So then this would become just a hallway. And then that one's trying to connect there. So this would be an all direction room. This one would become an all direction room. This one would be a tri-direction room. I guess this one would still only be down. Okay, so not every time would it be like this. Okay, all right. I guess we're fine the way we're doing it. We can do it this way. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Pass 4. You are going to be 4, you're 5, you're 6. So we need to check all 4 directions of each room, but we need to take into account okay. So I think what we can do, I'm like envisioning it in my head, and I think what we can do is I'm like going so off in my head, like thinking about how we're gonna do this. So for down, I'm kind of tempted to just like delete this and we'll just go back and grab it if we need it. Okay, so what we're doing, conditional branch. We're checking down first. So 97 minus 24, that's down, plus the current room. If you are, we don't want to say, we're going to have to get very specific. So if you are trying to make a connection with this room, so the bottom side, I'm going to need to pull up these pictures again so I can see what we're working with. All right, so if you are room, or if you are ID, so 3, that would be trying to make a connection. You are equal to 3. I think we need to do ors. So if you are 3 or 5 or 8 or 9 or 12, 13, 14, and 15. Can you do, I don't know if this is possible. JavaScript. What would it be? Check if variable is equal to I don't want like a range of like I can't have a range. If equal to I guess multiple values. Check variable equality against a list of values. If foo equals 1 or 3 or 12. If foo in 1, 1, 3, 1, 12. If 1, 3, 12 includes foo. For variables, if abc dot includes foo, or string, if I don't know if that's possible in RPG Maker. If fruit. Okay, yeah. That is not what I want at all. Thanks, Google. Character. Oh, that's not what we want either. I'm just gonna try something really quick. So, parallel process, conditional branch. If game variables dot value. So if variable 5 is equal to one, 3, 5. Flash screen, white. Oh, let's go red here, and then green. I'm sure it's just gonna throw up an error. It's gonna be like, you can't do that. What are you trying to do? Red. Okay. Then what if we say 0? Should be a 0. Okay. Yeah. Hold the phone now. Alright, never mind. Never mind. Oh, wait. 0 and 1. Hold the phone now. We go to 2. Dang it. I was so excited. I was like, did I actually figure it out? No. I did not figure it out. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna try one more thing. One more thing, but I don't think it's gonna work. I highly doubt it's gonna work. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I don't know if RPG Maker allows me to do... Yeah. Does that mean I can put the phone down, or am I still holding it? I mean, I can put the phone down, or am I still holding it? Yes. Yes, that is what that means. You gotta keep holding it, because, I need you to hold on tight. Now I'm trying to think of the context. You might have to remind me. My brain is such mush right now. It is bad. I said hold the phone. Okay, yeah, I'm telling you, my brain, absolute mush. I said hold the phone. Yeah, I did say hold the phone. Yes, keep holding the phone. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh, good heavens. Man. Yeah. But hey, on the bright side, we got pass 3 working. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to make pass 4 the most efficient as possible. I highly doubt this is going to work in RPG Maker. If 1, 3, and 12 dot includes boo. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try it. 1, 3, 12 dot includes, and then we throw that guy in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 1, 3, and 12. I'm sure it's just gonna freak out. Red. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Jesse, are you still holding the phone? Because I think because you were holding the phone, it's working. Holy what the moly? There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Red. And if I change this to 12, it's just gonna be green. Oh, what? What the? Okay, JavaScript. JavaScript is cracked tonight. It is being held. Yes, do not let that phone go, because apparently, holy freaking crap, it's working wondrous miracles tonight. Ho! Ha! Okay, that is going to make it extremely efficient. What the crap? What? Okay, all right, cool. Well, that is great to know. Fan-freaking-tastic. That is hurting my brain. I have always wondered if you could check a variable. So checking a single variable for multiple values. I've never known that you can. Never. Okay, cool. Well, let's come back over here. Ooh, all right. Well, awesome. So that means what we can do then is we can say, we need to check all the rooms that are trying to go up, right? So right now we're checking from things coming below. So connecting unconnected neighbor rooms. Okay, so let's do add a comment. Check rooms below. Or just check room below. Oh, check room down. Sure, check room down. So we're gonna check and see if we need this guy. We need all of this minus the equals. So grab that. Includes you. Okay. 24 minus 24. Okay, so that is checking the room below. And it's checking to see if it has the value of 3, 5, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, or 15. So if it has any of those values in the room below, then gosh. Woo! All right, so then this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. That was step 1 in trying to figure out the trickiness. So then step 2, we then need to check a few things. Would it make more sense connecting unconnected rooms? Check room down. I think what's going to make the most sense is we need to do this in 4. So pass 4 needs 4 passes. So we're going to do comment pass down. So this is going to check all of the rooms facing down. Connecting unconnected rooms. Pass down. Okay. So first things first, we need to set this to 7. So we're not going to check the lower rooms for any of the first 6 rooms. There's not going to be anything below those ever. Okay, so set that to 7. So then check to see if the room below the current room has any of those values. Okay. This might not actually solve any of the problems. Okay. Well, we'll just have to do quite a few check cases. This is checking if the room to the bottom is trying to connect at all. Check room down. Now, if it is trying to connect at all, what we need to do is say, kind of like how we're doing over here, we just need to say additional branch. If the current room you're in, 1045, so if the current room you're in is equal to, there's just gonna have to be a lot more variables. But that's fine. So if the current room you're in is equal to 1 won't matter. So if you're equal to 2, then set yes, actually that'll be fine. So if you're equal to 2, which is moving to the left, then you need to set it to down and left, which is 7. That is correct. Okay. Okay. And then if you are equal to 3, which is up, you then need to be equal to 5. If you are equal to 4, which is to the right, then right and down is 10. You to 10. You're equal to 5. Good there. So if you're equal to 6. 6 is left and right, so you need to go left, right, and down, which is 11. You're equal to 7, you'd be good. So if you're equal to 8, which is left and up, so you need left, up, and down, which is 12. Equal to 9, which is up and right. And you need to equal to upright down. Upright down is 14. If you're equal to 10, 10 is good, 11's good, 12's good. You're equal to 13. Now you need to be equal to 15. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. So then, all it does is it loops through this, and we're going to have you, at the end of each one of these loops, just add 1 to the room number. Goes to the next room. Just going to loop through that super fast. It should do this in like a fraction of a second. So it should loop through that super fast. And then conditional branch if... what variable was it again? 1045. If 1045 is equal to 60, right? Starting at 7, it would loop through 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up, so 59. It wouldn't be equal to 60, so then we would do that. Equal to 60, get to the bottom, 60. Okay. And then we would break this loop. Okay. So this loop right here is just checking the down connections. Perfect. Now the next left is going to be a little more tricky. That should be fine. Yeah, should be all right. So instead of setting you to 7, let's just copy all of you, paste you. Okay, so instead of setting you to 7, we're going to set you to 1. Connecting unconnected neighbor rooms, we don't need that again. guess we'll just do something like this. There we go. Okay. So set you to 7. Loop. Pass down. Perfect. And this is to the left. So pass to the left. What the? Pass to the left. Okay. So then we need to check, first and foremost, come over here, to the left, if you are equal to any of these. So if you are equal to room 1, room 7, and anything else on the left side. Man, so many sneezes. Blow out that candle. So if you are anywhere on the left side, if you are not equal to any of those, but if you are, then add 1 to the room. So we should just be able to cut this, put you there. Okay, so long as you're not in one of those rooms, you're going to do this. If you are, then just add 1 to the room. So we're just moving along. No, because this is adding to the room. Do not do that. That would have messed so many things up. Okay, yes, turn off the else handler for that one. Perfect. So this needs to check anything on the left. Anything on the left, try to come into the right. Yes, because 3 is up. So this is checking anything that's going to the right, which would be rooms 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're good. And since this is to the left, we're not doing negative 24. We're going to do minus 4. Okay. So long as you're not on that left column, and so long as the room to the left of you is one of these things, which means it's trying to make a connection, then check room left. Check room to, oh my gosh. Check room to the left. Okay, fine enough. That's probably for the best. Gonna save. Be good to go. All right, check room to the left. So, what are we doing here? So 97. So current room. Yes. Okay, so if this room is equal to 1, so if you currently are just facing down, then we need to set you to down and left, which would be 7. Okay. We don't need left, so then up. So if you're facing up, you'd be up and left, which is 8. 4. So you would be left and right, which is 6. 4. So then 5. If you are up and down, you now need to go left. So up, down, and left is 12. Wait. So if you are equal to 5, then equal you to 12. 6, you're already left. 7, you're left. 8, you're left. 9. So if you are equal to 9, then you need to equal 13. Now you can't really see the pictures on the other side of my screen, but I'm just looking at the directions, so it's really nothing that exciting. 9, so if you're equal to 10, you need to equal right, down, and left. Right, down, and left is 11. 11, 12, 13. So then if you are equal to 14, you need to equal 15. Okay, and then once you reach 60, break the loop. If not, just add 1 to it. And then once you get here, loop, get to here. Oh, right. That's something completely different. Okay, save that. Cool beans. Let's grab now loop U to U. Okay, let's loop left. This is going to loop set you to 1. Loop pass up. So anything that's on above the room that it's in, trying to get down to you. Anything above trying to get in. So what would that be? That would be above trying to get in would be ID 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then you are plus 24. Okay. You are checking the room above the current room that it's in. Yes. Check room up. Perfect. Okay. So if this room is equal to 1, then we need to move up and down, which would be 5. You are equal to 2. Then you need to move left and up. Left and up is 8. 3 is already up, so you'd be good there. 4 is to the right. So if you're to the right, you need to be right and up, which is 9. Okay. 5 is already up. 6. So if you are equal to 6, you need to be left, right, and up, which is 13. 6. 7. So if you are 7, 7 would be down, left. So then down, left, up is 12. Okay. 8 is already up. 9 is already up. 10. You are equal to 10. 10 is right and down, so it'd be up, right, down, which is 14. Okay, so then 10. So if you are equal to 11, then do 15. Perfect. And loop until you get to 16. No, not 16. We want to loop you until you get to 55, right? It is 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55. So loop until you get to 55. And then break the loop. Not add to it. Okay. Save that a couple times. Make sure we're not losing this progress. Oof, this is scary. I do not want to lose any of this. If this actually works. If this works, we will finally be done with the random gen and we can finally move on to something else. Oh, it's going to feel so good if this actually works. We're making great progress though, and I am very, very excited for it. Okay, so to 1, loop that. Yes. Yes, yes. There we go. Okay, so it sets it to 1. And then what we need to check is over here. So you've got down, left, up, and right. So we need to grab this guy and put him in down here. Replace this with that. Okay. Right. It'll be good. Okay, so that is making sure you're not on the far right column of the map. So then, what do we need to check and see? So this is rooms to the right, trying to come in to the left. So anything pointing left. So that would be 2, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 15. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is correct. We're going to do includes that -4, but you're going to be +4. All right. And then check room right. Okay, I just want to save that a couple more times. Let's get this done. Pass right. Check room to the right. Okay. So, here we go. So if you are equal to 1, and it's trying to come in to the left, you would be down and down right. Down right is 10. I feel like I've done the other ones wrong. Or am I doing this one wrong? Let me just double check. This is checking the room on the bottom. Check room down. If room down is trying to come up. So if you're equal to 2, if you're equal to 1, you're already good. Equal to 2, you'd be equal to 7. Okay, so I did do those right. Just wanted to make sure. For some reason this seemed weird. So if you're equal to 1, which means you're going down, you need to be able to go down and right. Down and right is 10. Okay, good to go. Just making sure. If you are 2... if you are equal to 2... That was just weird. I got to text it like 11:30 at night. It usually doesn't happen. If you're equal to 2, which means you are trying to go left, you need to be able to go left and right, which would be 6. 3 is up, so if you are equal to 3, you should be able to go up and to the right, which would be 9, set you to 9. If you are equal to 4, you're good, so then 5, if you're equal to 5, then you are up, down, and right. Up, down, and right is 14. Man. 6 is already there, so then if you are 7... 7 is down and left, so we need down, left, right. And left, right is 11. 8, we're equal to 8. You are left, up, so left, up, and right is 13. Okay. 9 is already to the right, 10 is to the right, 11 is to the right, 12. So if you're equal to 12, you are 15. Then 13 and 14 are all to the right, and 15. Okay, and then when you reach 60, break the loop, not, just add to it, player level progress, +1, show them. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Gotta turn that one back on. We were doing that whole experimenting thing. Okay. This should be the finished thing. So let's come in here. I'm going to do this again where I'm going to expand this so you can have a better look-see of what's going on. There we go. That way it won't be confusing. Okay, so there's paths here, paths there, paths there. There's not a path here, so that's a fun dead end. All right. You'd have to go around. Connections, 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 connections. This is a very boring, so far, just a long hallway. Connections, connections, connections. Crap. That's what I was worried about. It basically has now sectioned off this section. Yeah, so you would only be able to go this path. There is no door connecting here or here. Ah, crap. Okay. That is really disappointing because that means it's an issue with the Hydra generation. That means that in here, it was doing its thing, right? However many it was. And then it just so happened to put a Hydra somewhere up here, spawned all of this, probably despawned, and then came over here, did its thing, despawned, spawned another one. So if I refresh this, I'm probably not going to see this issue again for a while. Because it all depends on, one, how it actually generates the dungeon, right? So as long as there's not any weird long corridors like that one. So this one, let's see, you can move this way, come up here, dead end. You come over here, down, over, you come over here, but then dead end. So over, up, come all the way over here, back over here, down, dead end, and up, dead end, over, come up, and you can come over this way, up over here. Okay, and there's another one. So this one is just completely disconnected as well. Crap. Okay. It's so close. It's like you can come all the way over here, go over and around. There's like this little wall here that you can't go through, and then you come up over here. That's all connected. That's connected. You're good to go. And then right there, it's just, that's disconnected. So really at this point, it's coming down to where it's actually spawning the Hydras and how thin all of these corridors are. Yeah, this is one. I think every single room should be accessible here. Great. How about on this one? Nope. Because it's only connected there. Unless you go up and then down. Okay. Then everything down here is fine. Come up here. You got these little things here. You're going around. It's a good time. You can come here, dead end, but then you can come up over here, down, over. Then you can't connect there. So how are we going to fix this? That is a fantastic question. Because we are running into it a lot more than just... Okay. So what do? We could make it so that the Hydra travels further. Make it so the Hydra, instead of just going 10 blocks, goes like 20. But even that, I don't think it's going to necessarily fix it. Because it could even just be something in general like this. Like these 3 blocks, you cannot... These 3 rooms, you would not be able to access. Those are just inaccessible rooms right here. Okay, so with this generation, You can get over here, so you can come all the way up here. Dead end comes down here. Dead end's there, but then you can come around. You can get over there. All of this is fine. All of that is connected. Dead end over there, connected. Yeah, so this one is a fine dungeon. It works well. Okay. So we... Jesse says, sounds like you need a way to make sure if you spawn multiple Hydras, they force a connection to another Hydra. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. So the whole... Because before... We made it so there was just one snake that was going through, like, snaking its way through the generated dungeon. And it was basically carving out the path, right? Because the whole point of having the whole snake method is it's almost kind of like it's drawing without lifting the pencil. So there is always a connection to everything. Right? So like when it would be drawing the dungeon, it would be like, okay, I'm going to put the pencil down and I cannot lift up this pencil until I'm, until I've covered X amount of paper with graphite, which works great for generating these dungeon layouts because it's like, okay, every single room is going to be connected in one way or another. But then the problem was when I did the whole snake thing for generating the dungeon paths, so trying to get it so that like there's not just big open areas where it's like, oh, I can just go wherever I want, because like with this one, this is an extremely boring looking room, right? But if you can add artificial walls and disconnect places, it makes it feel like there's a little bit more pattern to it. But when I did something like a singular snake, weaving through this dungeon, the issues we ran into is it created way too many blocks like this, where it was essentially just... It was able to interconnect way too many rooms in way too many ways, and it got rid of these artificial walls. So like there's an artificial wall here, 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 all along here, right here, right here. And so the reason for the Hydra was to kind of keep the repeated paths to a minimum. So and so if we so here's the first option that comes to mind. The first option would be the first Hydra travels in a finite amount of spaces. It can only travel, whatever we have it to right now, like 10 or 20, something like that. So it can only travel 20 different spaces. And then it despawns, and then we start the next Hydra that no longer has a finite amount of spaces it can travel, but it instead travels until it hits a room that a previous Hydra has connected. And so once it hits that room, it then despawns, spawns the next Hydra. I think that might be the way we go. Because again, we're getting so close. For the most part, so long as there's not some weird long corridor where just for some reason one of like both exits get cut off, it's fine. Like with something like this, it is interesting enough. But yeah, then you start getting things like this where you run into the potential where like if this one didn't connect and this one didn't connect, suddenly you're locked out of this entire hallway. Okay. So I'm just trying to think about it. It is all spawning correct, right? Yeah, this is all technically working according to what I've told it to do. There's no weird thing that's happening here that I'm not aware of. This is exactly how it should be functioning. I just did not think about the fact that the way it's functioning could present issues. So, so. Of course, now it's not gonna show me the potential issues. Yeah, all that's connected. Go up here, over here, down, and over. Yeah, so it's like, this would be super interesting looking. So it's like, this whole corridor here is only accessible from this way. You can't get to it from over here. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So I think what we're gonna do then is we create the first Hydra, goes X amount of spaces. It has a finite variable that it has to stick to. And then after that, every Hydra will travel. Maybe we do like 2 Hydras. Because again, you kind of run into the issue of it, yeah, you run into the issue where it could potentially spawn 1 Hydra, like up here, right? And if it just kind of like does its little thing and, you know, travels 10 times and then disappears, and then if it spawns a Hydra down here, it's going to bob and weave all through here until eventually it gets up to here. Yeah. Okay. If we have 2 Hydras, that would reduce the chance of that. There is still a chance. All right, let's come in here. Let's see. It's method. So method 1, generate initial rooms. Sorry, pass 1. Pass 2, check if rooms are blocky. Then it shows that. And then pass 3 is creating the room layouts. If we increase... Jesse says, this is an interesting problem, trying to think of how I'd do it. Yeah, it's... Because the problem is, like, it's so specific. Because the very specifics are, it generates the layout, and then pass 3 sticks to that layout, and it's trying to create an interesting path inside that layout, but you can't run in, but it's trying to make it so that it's less doors, but having them all interconnected. It's the only other thing I can think of, maybe, is trying to create one last, not necessarily pass, but a check to see if every single room can be accessed. Right, so basically just being, trying to think of how to create something that would then travel through all the rooms and if any of them don't have a connection, I don't know how I would, I don't know how I would do that though, to then figure out how to connect a room. Yeah. All right, let's just do this. What if we say the Hydras can travel 20 blocks? 20 is 22 high? 15? 16? 15. Let's do 15. Let's just say they can travel just a little bit further before they have to respawn. Okay. There. 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 Yeah, even increasing that. It already, like, just this spot right here is just completely disconnected from the rest of this. The rest of this, you can get through all of this, and you gotta kind of bob and weave a little bit. You can get to all of it till you get here. Come in this room, but you can't come down. Then if you come over here, you can't get into this room. Yeah, so maybe having some kind of check where it'll check and see. Oh, because again, like, I don't know how I would, even if I can check and see, I could log it all to variables and just be like, okay, it went into every single room but this one. But then it's like, I would then have to somehow be like, okay, how would you get to that room without knowing? Because it's randomly generated every time, so you're never going to know exactly what path it could take. Okay. We can delete this. This I'm going to copy and put down over here. This is just going to be a backup of this. Because just in case I completely break it, at least we know we have a semi-functional working version of this. So, this will be the backup. I'm just going to turn off all of its actions. So, over here, pass 3. This is creating the room layouts. So let's keep... So it spawns 1 Hydra. And then we'll just... Should we say 1 Hydra or should it do 2? I think we're going to do 2. Just to... hopefully make things a little bit more... keep things more interesting. So, on the first spawn, we're going to do control variables, add 1 to, we'll do 1140. Add 1 to 1140. So that's down, left, up, right. This is the loop. There's another loop. So once we get here, at the very beginning, we're just going to say conditional branch if 1140 is equal to 3. Reason why we're going to say 3, that's how we're going to get it so it actually spawns 2. So it'll add 1 to this one, spawn this, it'll be at 1. It'll add 1 to this again, so it'll be at a 2, go through all of this. Then it becomes a 3, and so it'll bypass everything else and just be done with it. So then we'll break the loop here. And when it breaks the loop, it should come straight down to this guy. Player level +1. Okay, so this is pass 3. 3, yes. And then we're going to copy this and paste it to your 4, your 5, 6, 7. So you're past 3. You are past 3.5. Now, the reason for 3.5, we're basically keeping roughly the same, but we are not going to be... Okay, we do want to spawn a new Hydra, but the movement is not going to be the same. So it's not going to move a finite number, right? We don't need to worry about that. That is 17. So every time... okay. $17. That's the rotating. We don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about these. That'll all stay the same. 1045, 1045. Okay, so all of that is correct. 1045, 45. Okay, so at the end of this one, what are you? 20. If 20... Okay, so that's just determining if it's going to be rotating again. Backpack slot 8, so that's 16 equals 1. Check if any other rooms have IDs equal to 100. So before it does any of this, we're going to say at the end of this direction, we're going to say conditional branch script if $97, so this is, so if current room no, we need this before it moves. Right? Let's, okay. How are we gonna do this? So it needs to check and see. So it needs to move onto the new spot. Then before it does that, check if there is a room to the south. That's rotating. That's moving. And that's moving the player. Or the snake. So it moves it, and then after it moves it, it then needs to check and see if its current location. Yes, okay. So in this one, check and see if current location is equal to 100. if it's not, then it needs to despawn. No, if you're not equal to 100. So if you're not equal to 100, that means you are not a brand new room, which means you have now crossed paths with a previous Hydra, and you need to despawn. All right, just to make it easier to find this thing. So how do we despawn? Over here, spawn new snake. Where are we? Spawn new snake. I guess we could even just, yeah, here, spawn new snake. Jump to label. Okay. Right here, if you are not equal to 100, then you're just jumping back up to spawn new snake. That is after it has made the connection. That should be fine. Okay. So it does all of its normal Hydra things. So it spawns a Hydra in a random spot in the map, and then it checks to see if that random spot in the map hasn't been assigned a room layout ID. If it hasn't, meaning it is 100, so if it's 100, meaning it hasn't been assigned that, then it breaks the loop, jumps into here. And that thing is just going to start moving around and going crazy until it runs into either its own tail or the path of another Hydra. At which point it then despawns, spawns a new one, and that starts doing its thing until it meets its same criteria. So on and so forth until every single room is now filled. Hopefully, that should actually eliminate the chances of a room not being connected. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, stuck in a loop. Past 3, past 3.5. I think he's getting stuck in this loop. So what if when we get over here, spawn new snake, we're going to set you to 0. Think that should fix that? No, that didn't fix it up. Yeah, pretty sure it's just getting stuck in here, right? Let's flash the screen here. Flashes it once, twice. Okay. Okay, so it's spawning a whole bunch of new Hydras. So it does keep going in and respawning. What the crap is wrong? And why was it freaking out? Okay. Do we need to add the check? Despawn Hydra. I think we need to check first to see if we can Yeah. Okay, yeah. So here at the top, we're going to check and see. Yes, so loop. And then this is checking to see if everything has spawned. I think that may have been the issue. No, that wasn't the issue. All right, all right. 16 is equal to 61. Okay, yeah, that's fine. 16. Check any other room have IDs equal to 100 of script. Room 1 is equal to 100. Break the loop. Despawn Hydra. 17. That's not gonna matter anymore. Okay, so I think the problem is that we're actually looping through here and we're not actually getting out of the loop, which I guess would make sense because all it's doing is just checking to see. Okay. Break the loop. Dungeon layout spawned. So if there is... No, because all of that should just take you back up to the top then. And it gets into this weird loop where it's not changing the rotation. So it must be skipping over this spot here. If dice picked up is equal to 0, which is 20, this is setting 0 to that to 0 anyway. Yeah, maybe this isn't gonna be the way to go. We ran into this issue before, but I cannot remember for the life of me what we had to do to solve it. And it may even just be something completely different from what it was before anyway, so it's not necessarily that that would even, yeah. I must have completely missed this message. Semi-functional Hydra would be a good, like, podcast name. It would be. It would be. Semi-functional Hydra. Kind of wonder what the topics for that podcast would be. Almost sounds a little bit more, adult-themed. Trying to remember. Let's say you are flash screen red. I just want to see if it's making it all the way to the bottom here. Right? So if we come over here, loop, yada, yada, yada. Are you making it all the way to the bottom? No. Okay. That could present an issue. So it is getting stuck somewhere else. But where else? Are you getting stuck in this loop? Well, you are getting to that loop. So if it's getting to this loop, but nowhere past this loop. So maybe it's getting stuck in here. But it's not affecting... Yeah, it's not affecting 1045 at all. So, else, then it should break the loop. Okay. Control variables 16, backpack slot 8 equals 1. And then loop this. Spawn new snake. Spawn new snake. Can't remember. Was it getting up here? Was it actually spawning a new snake like every time? Yes. But I don't know why it's gotta run. Good luck and good night. Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate it. I think we're just about done for tonight anyway, so no worries at all. Yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you on Sunday. That's the next time I'm streaming, so see you then. Is coming up here. Just seems like it's getting stuck somewhere, but I don't know where. So if we let this run for a little bit, like it looks like the rotation is not changing at all. So if we come down here, okay, so all of the rooms hold up, so it is actually doing this correctly. It just, for some reason, is not jumping out of here. So loop, check if any other rooms have ID equals 100. So if 97 plus 16 times 4 equals 100, break the loop. If not, add 1. And then it loops again, checks, loops, 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 loops. Okay, so 16. So before you loop, let's flash the screen here. No, because we need that to run through quite a bit. So it should get to that point though, right? It's just not. Variable 8, no, variable 16. 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay. It was 16, right? Set 16 to equal 1. Loop. Okay, here's what I wonder. Wait, it's not getting down there at all? Okay, so I moved the flash screen to be right above here. Is it not checking? It's gotta be checking. Okay, it's checking. Yes. 16. 16 is equal to 1. Okay. Yeah, I think we might just need to find a different method. It seems like 61. Okay, it got to 61, which means it should have left the loop, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On 3.5, when it gets down here, player 8 plus 1. That's exactly how it works on the other one that is working. Okay, so there's something else weird going on. I don't know what it is. So let's just delete that. On the bright side, we got most of the random generation working. And then we just had to have one more freaking hiccup. Just one more, and I'm like, really? You just had to give us one more wrench in our system? Really? We were so close. Just it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We will figure it out. We've gotten this far. This is literally just the last thing we have to check. So, yeah. So really, it's just... the problem is that, like, I can't even think of what we would do. Because even if we were to say something like, oh, let's have just like a final snake crawl through, and every single time it can only crawl in the direction based on the ID, right? So it would have to follow the paths. And any new room it enters, it would add 1. And so we would know, okay, check and see how many rooms there are that it spawned. Now check and see how many new rooms you've got into. And if it goes through the entire thing and didn't reach its quota, its goal, then we would know, okay, there's something not connected. But then it's like, okay, cool, we know that something's not connected. We already know there's not something connected. So I really don't know how we're gonna solve this. I really, really don't know. Not a freaking clue. What if we make it so the snakes can go 3? Yeah, that makes it very disconnected. That's all connected. I mean, that one worked out. That's exciting. Yeah, but then that one's disconnected. So you can move all around here, move down to there, but not there. You can move around here, but not down. Over here, not down, not over. Okay, well, we made it this far. We'll just have to think one more time. Fingers crossed. One more time how to address this last final issue. I feel like there's got to be some kind of clean solution, you know? Some kind. What that clean solution is, I have no idea. No earthly idea. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out. For now, the Hydra method has worked to about 99% of its expected functionality. So that is an improvement. That is a huge improvement. We've actually got it to the point where it is drawing actual pathways, right? And that's great. Fantastic. We just need to figure out how are we going to make it so it never, you know, does something to the point where it doesn't actually connect everything the way it's supposed to be. And I'm fine with there being weird ways that you have to go around, like this right here. Like, I absolutely love the fact that, like, you know, if you're right here and you're kind of going up, you'd have to go over and up and then over, and you couldn't just go down. You have to like go all the way out and around. I absolutely love that. That is fantastic. I love it. But then you run into issues sometimes where it's like, okay, that one's connected. Yeah. You run into issues sometimes where it's just like, okay, yep, you would not be able to get down here. And the problem is that we couldn't even say something like, okay, final pass, if, you know, if there's a corridor, a singular corridor, make sure that they are always connecting. We couldn't even do that because it's not always the single corridors. Sometimes there's weird things where, like, you know, you'll get, trying to see if there'll be like this. Like, you've got these three here, but then they just don't connect at all. So, yeah. I just need to figure it out. We're close. We're almost there. We just have to make it over that last hurdle. That last little hurdle. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. All right. Well, I would say we got some pretty good work done tonight. Yeah, as much of a headache as it was some pretty good work. So, anyway, I think we're going to call it there. And yeah, I'm going to be thinking about this stuff for the next couple days. Because again, with the new schedule, my next stream will be Sunday evening. So in a few days. So today's Wednesday, I guess Thursday now technically because it's midnight. So yeah, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'll stream Sunday and then Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes. So I've got a few days. I'll be considering this, considering different things that we could look into to try and get this working. I don't know what the solution's going to be. We're going to figure it out. We will figure out some way because we are so freaking close. So close. I don't want to throw in the towel because I'm like, there's so much we have done and gotten so close. I feel like victory is just right on the other side and we're going to get there. So anyway, thank you so much everyone for watching, for chatting, all of that great stuff. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's going to be kind of weird to step away for a few days. I mean, you know, my old schedule, the most I would step away was the weekends. So yeah, but for now, that is what we have to do until one day that maybe Twitch and or YouTube can be profitable. I will just kind of have to keep doing this as a part-time hobby wherever I can fit it in. So anyway, thank you so much again. I appreciate it. Hope everyone has a fantastic evening, day, wherever you may be, whatever time it is for you. I hope whatever it is a fantastic one. And yeah, take care, and we will see you all on Sunday. Yeah. Bye.